Hi, my name is Sam Harris. I work as a behavior analyst, and today I wanted to speak briefly about an idea called differential reinforcement. When we are teaching a behavior or a skill, we use different approaches. It kind of depends on the why the challenging behavior emerged or why the skill is still lacking. We want to have different approaches to use under different circumstances. Our approaches are kind of like our tools, right? If I take my car to a mechanic, he doesn't just have one tool on the wall. He's got a bunch of tools and he knows which one to use depending on what the problem is. So, one of the most important tools that I have is something called differential reinforcement. I use this tool every day. Differential reinforcement is when I clearly communicate to the person when they're doing something correctly and when they're doing something incorrectly. I am reinforcing the two results differently. Differential reinforcement. We do it this way because the person might genuinely be having difficulty understanding when they're doing things correctly. A typical learner might be able to understand the results or the feedback they get, even though those signals are very subtle. But individuals with autism and some other difficulties, some other disabilities, might have trouble understanding when they've gotten it correct or when they've gotten it incorrect. For example, okay, if I'm trying to teach somebody to use the soap when they wash their hands, but every time they reach for the soap, they lick the bar of soap instead. That's a real example that I have with a client right now. Okay, so when he does it correctly, I want to make sure I communicate very clearly that he got it right. I use my facial expressions, my tone of voice, my body language, and any other method to make it clear that I have done that stuff, that he has done that stuff correctly. But if he does it incorrectly, I also want to use all of those same approaches to make it clear that it was incorrect. We'll often see teaching be unproductive. Partly because of a lack of differential reinforcement. Many times I have observed someone teaching a child with autism, and when the kiddo gets it right, the person says, "Great job, you got it right." And when they get it wrong, they say, "Great effort, you almost got it right." Those two reactions look and they feel almost identical. And if the learner is not good at reading subtleties, they can't tell the difference. Those two reactions look the same. There's two things going on there in that case. One is that the learner cannot tell the difference between those two reactions. And if they can't tell the difference, they don't know when to make any effort to adjust their performance. The second thing going on is that both of those reactions are equally desirable. And there's no reason to adjust your performance if reinforcement is identical, whether you get it correctly or incorrect. If you get the same reaction either way, why would you work to do it differently? So when I use differential reinforcement, I want to increase the contrast between my reaction when they get it right compared to when they get it wrong. This helps them understand what is expected. So if they get it right, I might communicate, "Hey, nice job, you used the soap on your hands, good, good, good." Okay, and if they get it wrong, I might communicate, "No, no, let's try again." All right, so notice I'm not using punishers right there in case of a wrong performance, but I am using my words and my tone and my body language to communicate it was not correct. I am avoiding reinforcement in the second case, whereas getting it right, it should be very clear they got it right. Now, some people might say, "Well, I'm not really like that. I'm not naturally like that." Okay, I'm not either. I work at it and I pretend. I do this for their sake so that they can learn. The purpose is so that they are able to see the difference in the reinforcement in my reaction, and so that they can better understand the right thing to do. If I'm too subtle, they have trouble understanding when they've gotten it right. And that would not be kind of me to be unclear and confusing. Now, we don't want to get angry with them when they don't get it correct, because then they're going to be afraid and they'll just avoid the soap entirely out of fear, right? That's not going to work. So I use differential reinforcement as part of the approach, as one of the tools to teach almost every goal we've got. Experiment with this and see if you see progress. May God bless us as we work to teach in a way that is helpful for our clients.